Hello my lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mahsa and I'm the maker, creator, owner, basically everything behind Moonchild by Mahsa, which is a small polymer clay business, and I make really cute, whimsical and bookish things. I feel like it's definitely way too late, but Happy New Year! I hope you all had a great New Year and Christmas time, but we are back and I'm gonna get straight into this video. We are gonna be doing some 2024 reflections, and then I'll be doing my 2025 goals and what I want to do with my business and what we can expect from this channel and all that really fun stuff. So let's just get to it. So 2024 was actually the first full year that I was doing my polymer clay business, and it was not full time, and especially towards the end of the year it got really difficult because I started a part-time job and I was working 5 days a week, and for some reason it didn't really occur to me that working 5 days a week and trying to do all of the Christmas markets that I'd booked in for like the last 2 months of the year was a little bit too much, and I got really overwhelmed and I was super burnt out. I think I cried most days, and it was just a really horrible time for me, which is also why I dropped off of this channel, which I really wanted to continue doing, and I wanted to do like Vlogmas and all of that stuff, but I literally just could not bring myself to add anything else to my plate. It was pure chaos, and I definitely spread myself too thin, and I already had so many markets booked in that having to work 5 days a week, and I was also on some really terrible medication which had completely wiped me out. It was just a lot of things were happening at the same time. But it was my first full year of being a polymer clay artist and being a polymer clay business owner. I sort of thought it would go better than it did. Yeah. And that's horrible to say. I thought it would go better than it did, and I thought I would get more online sales and things like that, and I sort of didn't. So my main source of income was coming from the markets that I was doing, and towards the end of the year some of them were really quiet. I think 1 or 2 of them I literally just made a loss because I didn't even make back the table money, and it was dire the last few markets. But I think that's why this year I'm gonna try slightly different tactic, but we'll get to that part. I also feel like I didn't necessarily fully commit to social media the way that I should have, and I know that that is entirely my fault, and I kept umming and ahhing about going on Etsy or not going on Etsy and all of that stuff. I made a lot of mistakes in 2024, and in theory we are going to rectify them in 2025, and more importantly we're going to make new mistakes, and it's going to be great and it's going to be super fun. So now that my ramblings about 2024 are over, let's just get into the 2025 goals, because that's what I'm excited to talk about. And yeah, I'm just really excited for the upcoming year and it's going to be great. So let's do this. Now, these are in no particular order, but we are going to start with the first one that is somewhat relevant, and that is to try and get the Moonchild by Mahsa YouTube channel, which is this YouTube channel that you're watching, get this monetized. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, because I'm going to be posting loads of like cute vlogs and showing you how I do stuff, and it's going to be really fun. But my goal is to try and get this channel quite far towards being monetized, if not get it monetized by the end of the year. And I really want to try and stay consistent with videos on this channel. So I think my plan is to start by doing, my aim is always to do 1 a week. But I feel like if I try and get myself back into it by doing 1 every 2 weeks, then that gives me a little bit more time while I juggle working part-time, doing my acting work and also doing this business. It's just, I probably have a little bit too many jobs on the side. But yeah, I think it will just give me more time to get everything the way that I want it. And I'm going to try and post more shorts on this channel. And yeah, so one of the goals is to try and get this monetized. While we're on the topic of social media, I really want to try and grow my social media accounts, and I want to aim to get my Instagram, and if I'm looking to the side it's because my laptop's there with all my goals on it, just in case anyone's wondering. I want to try and grow my Instagram to 750 followers and grow my TikTok to 500. I barely post on TikTok and I don't really post a lot on Instagram, both of which I know are terrible because that's where your business is going to grow, that's how people are going to find you, and that's probably why my online sales are quite low / non-existent. It's because I don't actually post about the things that I'm making and I'm selling, which completely my bad, like I will hold my hands up and admit to that. But I really want to step up my social media game this year and try and hit those milestones. If I can reach 1,000 on both, that would be incredible, but that might be wishful thinking. So we're gonna aim for 750, 500, but our stretch goal can be 1,000. I'm really sorry if the lighting's suddenly gone terrible. The sun has decided to poke its head out and it's got very bright very quickly. So the next goal that I've got for 2025 for my small business is to do a drop or a launch type thing every 1 to 2 months, I think. I might try and do it like one every quarter, depending on how much I sell and demand and how much time I've got and what else is going on in my life. But I think I want to keep it to maybe like one every 2 months. Sounds like a good amount at this point. But I also want to sort of diversify the things that I do. So I'm mostly known for my moonlings that I do, and they are adorable creatures sent by the moon to keep you company and make sure that you're comfortable and not anxious and not overwhelmed. And like if you need a little friend, they can just sit on your desk and keep you company. If you haven't seen them before, I will pop photos up for you because they are so cute. And that's what I mainly do, is the moonlings. And I love the moonlings. I will always love the moonlings and I will always continue to do the moonlings. But I also want to sort of diversify the stuff that I make just to appeal to a little bit of a wider range of people. It's still making things that I really want to make, but also bringing in more of a variety of things that I want to make. I hope that made sense. So there is a bunch of stuff from last year that I had ideas about. There's like projects that I started to do and I never finished them, and I want to do the drops, but I also really want to focus on doing the things that I never got a chance to do towards the end of last year because I was so excited to do them, and then obviously I was very sick and I got a job and it was just pure chaos and it didn't happen. So I wanted to do more fantasy themed things, I want to do more bookish things. I've got a bunch of like miniature ideas that I want to try out, so I feel like we're going to be trying a lot of new stuff together, and I hope that's exciting because I'm super excited about it. And yeah, we can do videos about it and see how it goes. And the last two goals sort of link together and they sort of link back to the point I just made, which is trying to diversify the things that I sell. Everything that I make, all the polymer clay stuff, is obviously handmade, and that means that I can only do a finite amount of stuff in the time that I've got, and it's also really time consuming and it requires a lot of detail, and because of that it means it needs to be priced in a way that represents the amount of work I've put into it, and so that I'm actually making money and making a profit. And given like the current climate with like the cost of living crisis and everything, I fully understand that it is possibly too much for people to spend on something that isn't a necessity. So because of that, one of my goals is to try and diversify the things that I make and maybe make other non-clay items alongside my clay items, and that would be probably dabbling into print on demand and still making things that fit the aesthetic of my brand, are still like super cute, but they'll be a little bit more affordable because I won't be hand making everything. And to do that, we go on to the last goal of the year, which is for me to learn how to do graphic design and learn how to draw. So I can sculpt, and I'm totally fine at sculpting. However, I cannot really draw, or when I do draw, it's literally doodles and it's not great and it looks like it could have been done by like a child. And I would just really like to learn to draw and learn to do graphic design and illustrate, and just like all the cute things that are in my head I would like to get down on paper or on the iPad or whatever, but in a way that looks cute and looks good still. Like, I can sculpt, I just can't draw. So I would really like to learn to draw. And that will obviously then help with the drop shipping or whatever I decide to do with it, or manufacturing even, because then it's still my designs, it's my work, it's things that I'm doing, but I'm just producing them in a slightly different way that is going to be a little bit more affordable. So in theory, all those goals sound super easy to do, but we know how my brain works, and that means that this is probably going to be a little bit more difficult than I anticipate. But my aim is to try and stay consistent, so whether that is posting once a month, then I will try and consistently post once a month. My aim, like I say, is to get to a video a week, and obviously posting like shorts sporadically throughout that time as well. But we will see. I'm just excited to go on this journey, and I'm proud of myself for getting through the last year, because it kind of kicked my butt a little bit. But I'm really excited to get on with this year and show you guys all the cute things that I've got up here that I need to try and sculpt somehow and make. And yeah, I am super excited for you to come along on this journey. So if it sounds like something you might be up for, then do hit the subscribe button. If you've made it this far, leave a little purple heart in the comments below, because purple's very on brand for Moonchild by Mahsa. And yeah, I will see you guys very soon for another video. Bye!